My dad works in B2B marketing, but I never really knew what that meant. Then one day my dad came by my school for career day and told everyone in my class he was a big MQL man. Then he just kept saying things like, the more MQLs, the better, over and over. My friends still laugh at me to this day. I think it means marketing qualified lead. One thing's for sure, I'll be known as the MQL man's kid for the rest of my days. Why couldn't you just be a fireman or a lawyer? Why? You ruined my life, Dad.
Not everyone gets B2B, but LinkedIn has the people who do. And with ads on LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people based on job title, industry, likelihood to buy, and more. Start converting your B2B audience into high-quality leads today. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/customer to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/customer. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
This is Joel.
And I am Matt. We are with the How to Money podcast. And my wife, Kate, and I, we recently got away for the weekend. We booked a last-minute Airbnb in downtown Asheville. It was walking distance from our favorite breweries, and it was just a block away from a top-notch coffee shop. That's a necessity. But it just reminded me of how smart those hosts were to list their place while they were out of town to earn some extra money.
That's exactly right. Your empty space could be an Airbnb while you're traveling, because that's all you need to become an Airbnb host. Just an extra spare room. You don't even need to Airbnb your entire house. Your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host.
This is Tanya Rad from Scrubbing In with Becca Tilley and Tanya Rad. This is what you do when you've just found that statement handbag on eBay and you want to build an entire wardrobe around it. You start selling to keep buying. Yep, on eBay. Over that all black everything phase, list it and buy all the color. Feeling more vintage than ever? It's out with the new and in with the pre-loved. Next thing you know, you've refreshed your wardrobe basically without spending a dime. Yeah, eBay. The place to buy and sell new, pre-loved, vintage, and rare fashion. eBay. Things people love.
Are lingering depression symptoms affecting you? If you're on an antidepressant and still struggling with lingering depression symptoms, ask your doctor about a lift in relief with Vraylar, cariprazine. Vraylar is a prescription medicine approved for use with antidepressant medicines to treat major depressive disorder, MDD, in adults. Adding Vraylar to an antidepressant is clinically proven to help relieve overall depression symptoms better than an antidepressant alone. Results may vary. Vraylar is not approved in elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis or for people under 18. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Report unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, as these may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, weight gain, and high cholesterol may occur. Difficulty moving, tremors, slow or uncontrolled body movements, restlessness, feeling like you need to move around, nausea, constipation, insomnia, dizziness, increased appetite, and fatigue are common side effects. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. For a lift and relief, ask about adding Vraylar, Vraylar. Visit Vraylar.com or call 1-877-6-VRAYLAR to learn more.
This is Dr. Laurie Santos from the Happiness Lab. Many people have questions about how to improve levels of happiness. Living a healthy lifestyle is one sure way of increasing happiness. And a good place to start is with your oral health. Just a few small changes to your oral care routine, such as changing your toothpaste to Colgate Total, can lead to beneficial changes in your oral health. Colgate Total helps stop oral health problems like gingivitis and cavities before they start, because preventing oral health problems is a lot easier than treating them. Be dentist ready and get Colgate Total at shop.colgate.com/total.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Zoe, and you're listening to Climbing in Heels for your weekly dose of glamour, inspiration, and, of course, fun. In honor of Fashion Month coming to an end, I'm throwing it back and paying tribute to one of my all-time favorite fashion icons, Iman. Iman has truly pushed the boundaries of the fashion industry by staying true to herself and what she believes in. She is just the most iconic and gorgeous woman, and I am so lucky to call her a friend. So let's jump right in.
Hi, darling.
Oh my God, I miss you so much.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm okay. And how's the kids?
They're so good. They're 11 and 8. I can't believe it. How are yours? Big, old?
Yeah, I'm grandmother, so yeah. My kids are old and they're older, and I have 3 grandchildren.
I cannot believe you have grandchildren.
Yes, I do.
Do they call you grandma, or do you have another name?
Nana.
Oh, I'm so happy to see you. You look stunning.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Cannot. Oh my God, you. So I started this podcast, Climbing in Heels, because there are so many incredible superwomen in my life that I've met along my journey in my life and in my career. And you have always stood out as just one of the most elegant, beautiful souls. Just beyond your actual physical beauty, you've just always been this ray of light in those crazy rooms in my life. And you know what I'm talking about when you walk into those rooms and it's crazy. And I would always feel very lost and very small and very, intimidated. And you were just always this strikingly tall, beautiful, but kind and friendly and still funny, always funny person in my life. And so before I was getting on, I was thinking about your journey and what an incredible journey it's been. And I mean, it would take us years to get through that. But I do want to talk about, because everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows Iman, the queen. And so for my listeners, I think it's very important to know, I call this podcast Climbing in Heels because I think that so many of the women I know that get to where they are, they don't sacrifice being a woman for it. They don't sacrifice embracing their beauty and femininity as a woman and using their superpowers in various ways. And you're such a good example of that. And so what I want to go to is just a little bit from the beginning of who were you as this child? Were you always this person that was like, I want to do a million things in my life. I need to do this. Or were you just like chill? I can't imagine that you were, but please tell me.
Yes. First of all, as you said, I never would have thought of you when you walk into a room that you were small. You might you are not a small personality. Let's put it that way. So I don't know what you're talking about being intimidated. You own the room when you walked in, regardless of how high your heels were. My journey really, it was I never envisioned myself of where my trajectory or journey took me.
Right.
I was always intending to major in political science and follow the footsteps of my father, who was an ambassador. So I was more into politics. I've never seen fashion magazines, never worn heels or makeup way before I came to the United States. So I was an ambassador's daughter for many years. And then in 1969, my country, Somalia, had a military regime took over. And all the embassies were closed, and we all came back home, and a lot of people were either put in prison or executed. So my parents decided in the middle of the night in 1972 that we were going to flee the country. And so they put us in a van and just drove to the border of Kenya. And then we crossed over by foot, just with the clothes on our back, and instantly became refugees. So when I arrived in Kenya, that was my lot in life. All I was trying to do was actually trying to get a scholarship to finish the university. And so I had no recollection of ever seeing a fashion magazine in my life. And one day, while I was walking down the street on my way from one job to another, and Peter Beard, the photographer, stopped me in the street and asked me if I had ever been photographed. So I had no idea what he was trying to talk about. I thought he was trying to pick me up.
By the way, I was going to say, you were probably like, handsome man asking to take my picture. Interesting.
Yeah. And so he said to me the magic word. He said, I will pay you. And I said, well, how much? He said, well, how much do you need? And I said, $8,000. That was the tuition for 1 year. And he said, okay, I'll pay you. And he took pictures of me and I had a friend with me. And so he took these pictures of me, and then I thought I'll never see him again. And 3 months later, I was staying in campus at the university. I didn't have a phone. So he had a friend of mine who worked at Pan Am. This is how old that was, 1975.
My God.
He called her and told her to let me know that he wants to talk to me. So I went there to her office the next day, and it was Wilhelmina, who owned Wilhelmina Agency,
God.
Agency, and him on the phone. And they both said we saw the pictures. She said she saw the pictures. She's going to send me a ticket. I could become a big model. And I had no idea what they were talking about. And the only thing I asked for was a return ticket back home if I didn't want to stay. And I still have the ticket.
Oh my God, I bet you do.
Yes, I do. And so I came to the United States, and on my third day in New York, I was working for Vogue.
That's the sickest thing ever. But it just shows that you were just so smart and clever about how you conducted yourself in life, no matter what. Like, meaning you were living in a not ideal situation, right? I mean, you left with nothing but the clothes on your back, basically starting your life. So how old were you when you came to New York?
I was barely 19.
Barely 19.
Barely 19, yeah. But I thought I was just really checking out what they were talking about the industry. I had no intention of actually staying. And then when things happened for me, it was an opportunity for me to be able to send my brothers and sisters so they can finish their education and take care of my parents. So that's what really the industry was helpful to me.
Sure.
But the trajectory of my life completely changed, in just one instant of being photographed by Peter.
And I think, to some extent that still happens now, I feel like, right? I mean, it's such a massive conversation, but I mean, you broke down countless walls in the modeling industry. You were so much more than like a beautiful model. It was sort of like Iman, right? It was sort of like the one word, the one name, and you really just stood out because what's funny is what I remember so well, of course, is what you wore. and this sort of like model off duty look of like the jeans and t-shirts and sneakers and whatever. I don't have any image of you in that. I have images of you in like Halston, Bob Mackie. Like, I guess one of my questions to you is like, were you obsessed with it? Were you loving it? Were you living for the sort of fashion of it? Were you like, it just seems to me that you had such a deep love and still do to this day. I mean, look at you right now. You're not in jeans and a t-shirt.
But no, I was not obsessed with it because I was learning on the job. But what it opened the doors for me, it is things that regular people are not, don't experience. I mean, my first walk on the runway was for Halston, right? And I'll never forget when I went to see him in his massive Olympic Tower studio with all the mirrors everywhere. And he had an ever-present cigarette in his hand and a hand in his pocket.
And a turtleneck.
But a hand in his pocket, even although he was in his office. He was always posing.
Right? He's like Tom Ford.
Yeah, exactly. And he said to me, darling, can you walk? I said, how the fuck do you think I got here?
Yes.
But he said, okay, I know you just came from Africa, but walking here is different than walking out in the street. And that was the first time I even learned about the word walking in our industry, what it means. That it doesn't mean just walking down the street. So you're exposed to that, but really the level of understanding the fashion industry and its designers came to me when one season, Saint Laurent asked me to be his muse for the couture collection.
You realize that my whole insides are collapsing as you say this, right? This is literally like, it's almost like you're singing this song to me of dreams. Okay. It was like Halston walking into a studio and then Sauron asked you to be his muse.
And it was really, first of all, I was clueless what a muse meant. So I thought there would be lots of other girls, but it was only me. And he literally had balls of fabric that he cut on my body. He was creating the collection as I was standing right there. And when he finished, the collection was called The African Queen. And David Bailey took the pictures and, that. So you had that level of couture collections and understanding these colors and things and, jewelry and, amazing high couture environment. And then cut to Thierry Mugler and Claude Montana and Jean-Paul Gaultier, who was the three Les Enfants Terribles in Paris. And then I became the muse of Thierry Mugler, who was like an MGM film director. Yeah. Because all his shows looked like scenes
theater.
from movies.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, so there is that experience. And what you have in fashion is that I used to call it literally the circus, because, we'll go to Paris and the tents will go up.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. It's so true.
And we will be there and doing all kinds of crazy fashions, and the tents come back down and we moved on to another city. So it's like really running away with the circus, being with fashion.
I need to put that on a t-shirt. So, I mean, I always like to know what that moment that changed your life and your career was. I mean, it would obviously be the Peter Beard moment, right? I mean, but there was probably many.
Yes, there were many, but that was really, that opened the door. And then there were like the designers, obviously, who from the Givenchy's to the Yves Saint Laurent, who used lots of 60% of their cabine on runway were Black models or Asian models. So you had really, at that time, we really had true inclusivity, not by word, but really existed, right? But for me, as my trajectory, what changed was really become a muse to Thierry Mugler, because I remember every shows that I would go, as a Black model, most of the hairdressers didn't know what to do with our hair. So immediately they just pull it back in a chignon, right? So Thierry Mugler was the first person who said, think of your craziest dreams and we'll go for it. And it's for the first time where I met a Black hairdresser in New York who did hair extensions. And she did the hair extensions and I arrived in Paris. And you would think that they have seen me in a different light.
Wow.
Because now all of a sudden my hair could be straight, it could be curly, it could be an afro, it could be, so that completely changed the trajectory of my real business, because all of a sudden we were seen in a different light.
That's so interesting. And then I imagine that the same thing probably happened with makeup.
Yeah.
Because that's something you and I have talked about that. And I remember when you launched your makeup and you said, I needed to make a line of makeup for us because nobody at the shows was able to match your skin tone to the foundation and da-da-da. And so tell me about that, because I think that is so incredibly important to know. And I think for everyone to really understand.
My dad works in B2B marketing, but I never really knew what that meant. Then one day my dad came by my school for career day and told everyone in my class he was a big MQL man. Then he just kept saying things like, the more MQLs, the better, over and over. My friends still laugh at me to this day. I think it means marketing qualified lead. One thing's for sure. I'll be known as the MQL man's kid for the rest of my days. Why couldn't you just be a fireman or a lawyer? Why? You ruined my life, Dad.
Not everyone gets B2B, but LinkedIn has the people who do. And with ads on LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people based on job title, industry, likelihood to buy, and more. Start converting your B2B audience into high-quality leads today. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/customer to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/customer. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
With the best all-inclusive vacation deals to Mexico and the Caribbean, booking your getaway with Cheap Caribbean Vacations means you have more freedom to do your deal. Whether you want to enjoy snorkeling, endless margaritas, and more, or simply soak up the sun and sand in a tropical paradise, Cheap Caribbean Vacations has your deal for that. Plan and book the exact getaway you want at exactly the right price for you by using our exclusive Budget Beach Finder, or find a featured, family-friendly, all-inclusive package to Dreams Resorts and Spas and do your deal at cheapcaribbean.com.
October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Nearly 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity theft, and LifeLock is here with a tip to help prevent you from being one of them. Using the same simple password across multiple accounts also makes it easier for identity thieves to gain access to your personal information. Updating your passwords to be more complex and unique across all your devices is one way to help protect yourself. But for comprehensive identity theft protection from cybercriminals and real peace of mind, get LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second and detects and alerts you to a wide range of threats. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock has U.S.-based restoration specialists in your corner to fix issues that arise, guaranteed, or your money back. Plus, plans include the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, with up to $3 million in coverage in their most comprehensive plan. Start protecting your identity today with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com/iHeart. Terms apply.
Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send instant money transfers, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get your first month free at greenlight.com/iHeart. That's greenlight.com/iHeart.
When it comes to getting you back to feeling right at home, Alpha's there by your side when you need us most. Handling your claims quickly, because now is better than soon, and paid is better than pending. We make sure everything's taken care of, so you can get back to what matters most. That's life with Alpha Insurance. Visit alphainsurance.com to learn more.
Sorry, Pumpkin Spice. This October is all about the beach. Cheap Caribbean Vacations is here to let you know that the fall is one of the best times to book and travel. Think about it. When the kids are back in school, you'll find more savings on flight fares and resort rates and less crowds taking up spots at the pool and beach. Check out Cheap Caribbean's Beachtoberfest sale for fall beach deals up to 60% off. And trick or treat yourself to an all-inclusive vacation. Go to cheapcaribbean.com to get started.
When it comes to getting you back on the road of life, Alpha's there by your side when you need us most. Handling your claims quickly, because now is better than soon, and paid is better than pending. We make sure everything's taken care of, so you can get back to what matters most. That's life with Alpha Insurance. J.D. Power ranks Alpha Insurance #1 for auto insurance customer satisfaction in the Southeast. Visit alphainsurance.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford, and I'm the founder of Meaningful Beauty. Well, I don't know about you, but I never liked being told, oh, wow, you look so good for your age. Why even bother saying that? Why don't you just say you look great at any age, every age? That's what Meaningful Beauty is all about. We create products that make you feel confident in your skin at the age you are now.
Meaningful Beauty. Beautiful skin at every age. Learn more at meaningfulbeauty.com.
Looking for the perfect night's sleep? Brooklyn Bedding has you covered. With over 25 years in the mattress industry, Brooklyn Bedding combines top-tier comfort and quality without the hefty price tag. Every mattress is designed and assembled by master craftsmen, ensuring expert oversight. Plus, they have a factory in Arizona and ship conveniently to your front doorstep for free. Choose from a range of firmness levels, heights, and dimensions, including non-traditional sizes, to find the perfect mattress fit for your needs. And with a 120-night sleep trial on all mattresses, you can rest easy knowing you're making the right choice. Visit brooklynbedding.com to learn more and take advantage of their 25% off site-wide sale going on now. Are lingering depression symptoms affecting you? If you're on an antidepressant and still struggling with lingering depression symptoms, ask your doctor about a lift in relief with Vraylar, cariprazine. Vraylar is a prescription medicine approved for use with antidepressant medicines to treat major depressive disorder, MDD, in adults. Adding Vraylar to an antidepressant is clinically proven to help relieve overall depression symptoms better than an antidepressant alone. Results may vary. Vraylar is not approved in elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis or for people under 18. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Report unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, as these may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, weight gain, and high cholesterol may occur. Difficulty moving, tremors, slow or uncontrolled body movements, restlessness, feeling like you need to move around, nausea, constipation, insomnia, dizziness, increased appetite, and fatigue are common side effects. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. For a lift and relief, ask about adding Vraylar, Vraylar. Visit Vraylar.com or call 1-877-6-VRAYLAR to learn more.
Sorry, Pumpkin Spice. This October is all about the beach. Cheap Caribbean Vacations is here to let you know that the fall is one of the best times to book and travel. Think about it. When the kids are back in school, you'll find more savings on flight fares and resort rates and less crowds taking up spots at the pool and beach. Check out Cheap Caribbean's Beachtoberfest sale for fall beach deals up to 60% off. And trick or treat yourself to an all-inclusive vacation. Go to cheapcaribbean.com to get started.
When it comes to getting you back on the road of life, Alpha's there by your side when you need us most. Handling your claims quickly. Because now is better than soon, and paid is better than pending. We make sure everything's taken care of, so you can get back to what matters most. That's life with Alpha Insurance. Visit alphainsurance.com to learn more.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford, and I'm the founder of Meaningful Beauty. Well, I don't know about you, but I never liked being told, oh, wow, you look so good for your age. Why even bother saying that? Why don't you just say you look great at any age, every age? That's what Meaningful Beauty is all about. We create products that make you feel confident in your skin at the age you are now.
Meaningful Beauty. Beautiful skin at every age. Learn more at meaningfulbeauty.com.
Are your lingering depression symptoms getting in your way? If you're on an antidepressant for major depressive disorder, MDD, and you've made some progress, but your unresolved symptoms leave you feeling stuck, it may be time to ask your doctor about Vraylar, cariprazine. Vraylar is a prescription medicine approved for use with antidepressant medicines to treat MDD in adults. Adding Vraylar to an antidepressant is clinically proven to help relieve overall depression symptoms better than an antidepressant alone. Results may vary. Build on the progress you've already made. Ask your doctor if adding on Vraylar to your current antidepressant could help give you a lift in relief. Vraylar is not approved in elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis or for people under 18. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Report unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, as these may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, weight gain, and high cholesterol may occur. Difficulty moving, tremors, slow or uncontrolled body movements, restlessness, feeling like you need to move around, nausea, constipation, insomnia, dizziness, increased appetite, and fatigue are common side effects. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. For a lift and relief, ask about adding Vraylar, Vraylar. Visit Vraylar.com or call 1-877-6-VRAYLAR to learn more.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
It's never too late to secure affordable coverage through SelectQuote. Show your loved ones they're your top priority by protecting their future.
Go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Yeah, exactly. Because nowadays a lot of young people are really living in an environment where Fenty exists.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So they don't know where actually this could have come from. You know? And as lovely as Rihanna has invented that, there were other smaller companies before I started, man, that they were trying to do, but there was not really a marketplace for us. But in 1975, my first job when I arrived was American Vogue. And at the shoot, there was a Caucasian model and I, and was with Arthur Elbert. And there was a makeup artist, and he started doing the white girl's makeup. And then when he came to my turn, he asked me a very perplexing question, because I knew it was not lost on me that he did not ask that question to the other girl. And he said, "Did you bring your own foundation?" Because he had nothing for me. So he started mixing products and put it on my face. And when I looked in the mirror, I looked gray. And so I thought after that shoot, if I survive this shoot, I'm going to find out some kind of a way that I can get something in the marketplace and mix a product that I can use and take it with me to the shoots, because apparently they don't have it.
Yeah.
And just the gods of fashion was looking after me. The pictures were in black and white. And black and white hides multitude of sins. Right?
Oh my God. Okay.
So I went and bought all these foundations that I found, things that have a little bit of a tint, and I mixed it. And I had the original selfies, the Polaroid.
Oh my!
And I'll put the makeup on, and I'll take a picture of myself just to see it. How will it translate into photography? Because at the end of the day, as a model, image is my currency.
Of course.
Nobody cares about how I really look. It's how do I translate into photographs?
Sure.
And I wanted to have some kind of a control of that. So I never went to a job without having something in my pocket. And when I started doing the runways and I would be doing my makeup, every black model would come to me and she says, "Let me see what you have. Can I use some of yours?"
Wow.
And so from there, the seed of creating Iman Cosmetics was planted in my head. And when I stopped modeling in 1989, I created in 1994 Iman Cosmetics.
Wow.
Yes.
It's weird though. I feel like you still model.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like you're still modeling. Like, what do you mean? You're still modeling. You did not stop in 89. What do you mean?
Let me tell you, in 1989, my last show was for Thierry Mugler, his first couture collection. And I said bye. And I told everybody that was my last show. And I remember, because it was very poignant and very sweet, all the photographers in the Marsh Pit came on the stage and took a last picture with me.
Oh.
I have to tell you, I have not been to a fashion show since 1989.
No. Wait,
really?
You haven't been to one, or you haven't walked in one?
I have not walked in one, and I have not been in one.
What?
Well, if you think about it, I've worked with mostly all the designers. And so whose show am I going to go to, and who am I not going to?
There's no way that you have not been asked 400 times to walk a show.
Oh, not like as recent as last this season.
I was going to say.
But I don't.
Now, a word from our sponsor. That is, it's actually really incredible, because how many times do icons retire and then like a month later, they're like, just kidding. Just kidding, I'm coming back. And I feel like I've seen it with countless like singers and actors, and everyone's like, I'm done, I'm quitting. Even like Tom Brady quitting, just kidding. But
he's going to be in trouble with Giselle if he doesn't keep up the next time.
I know it. Yeah, it's, listen, like, yes. Okay. Iman Cosmetics.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's beautiful. You've done, I feel like hundreds of thousands of things, because I just feel like you have such this large presence. And you have so much to say about things.
Yeah. I've written 2 books.
Yeah.
They're both, very successful books. One was on beauty and was called The Beauty of Color. And it was the ultimate guide for skin of color. And it was not just for Black women. It was also for Latinas, because Salma Hayek wrote my foreword, and I had Eva Mendez and, Jade Jagger and, and everybody under that umbrella as a global community and as beauty that is not the standard of just white. And then I wrote a book called I Am Iman, which was photography and my story about how where I came from to doing this industry. And then during COVID, I was contacted by YouTube and these directors and they wanted to talk to me about a docuseries that called Supreme Models, which was based on a book called Supreme Models, which is Black models who revolutionized the fashion industry. So I said to them, what are you bringing to the table that has not been said about Black beauty and Black models? And they said, are you aware that there has never been a documentary on Black beauty or Black models? Which was surprising to me at 2021, that nothing has existed. So that's how I came on board. And we did the docuseries, and it is really a beautiful, and it is not more about the trials and tribulations, although we do talk about that, but it's more about the joy and celebration of Black beauty and what that singularly Black fashion model, how she was responsible for cultural changes that has been going through in our industry from Black is Beautiful in the 1960s till now. So there's the whole history of Black models and Black culture and Black beauty till now to what's going on now.
And Zendaya is in there, who I am.
Zendaya is in there.
She is. Yeah. How impressed are you with her?
I'm beyond.
She's mind-boggling.
Yeah, and more importantly is that how young she is.
It's actually unreal. She's so young, and she's so gifted, and she's so clear. Yeah. In like, even just when I've seen her win countless awards in person and from afar, and I have to say, like, the way that she speaks with conviction and at such a young age, she's really special. I mean, she's so impressive.
Absolutely. That's what I'm impressed with, is how young she is and how together she is, which is
unreal.
No, she's lovely. I had the pleasure of, she asked me to award her, to give her the award as a Fashion Icon Award.
As it should be. But both deserved, by the way. I loved watching you get that award. That was the best.
Thank you.
That was the best. So you've had obviously quite a journey. In any journey, there's so many adversities. There's so many challenges. And, the thing is, I think you've broken down so many walls, ceilings, doors for people. On the one hand, it was a different time than it is now. Now I feel like there's so much more inclusivity and everything like that. And there's so much less tolerance for such terrible treatment to any model, honestly. What strikes you as something that you'll like never forget? Something that really knocked you down, where you were like, I cannot believe this just happened. And I cannot believe how angry I am. But guess what? This pissed me off so much that now I have to like do more. I have to change this, or I have to, I imagine there's been some triggers.
Yes. The first one was when I arrived in New York, 1975, and I started working. I found out that the pay between Black models and white models was not the same. Black models were being paid less for the same job. So I said to Wilhelmina, listen, Definitely this is a racist act. But let's take race even out of the equation. I said, what I want, what I'm demanding is for services rendered.
Yeah.
If somebody is doing the same job like I am, I want to be paid the same amount.
Yeah.
And it was like, then the clients would not go for it, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, I'm not going to be working. I just want to tell you, I'm not going to be working till this changes. It took 3 months, but the first client did make that change, and that changed. But that was in 1975. So forward to 2013, I'm not modeling anymore. I'm only doing Iman Cosmetics. A friend of mine contacts me by the name of Bethan Hardison.
I was just going to ask you about that, Queen.
Yeah, and she said, I'm going to send you an article in the New York Times. This is 2013. And the article said, the blonde leading the blonde. And it was what was happening on the runways across Europe and now in the United States. There was a blackout of black models. There was not one single black model used that season, right? But we're talking about now, we're going on a 3-year period. I had no idea because I was not in the industry.
Right.
And so Beth Ann, I, and Naomi Campbell have sat together and looked through all the collections that they're selling, and there was absence of black models across the board. We've never seen anything like it. And so we decided to write to the CFDA, and then we wrote to the equivalent in Paris, in London, and in Milan. And what was really happening was the designers said that they were having too many shows per year, that they have started hiring casting agents. And the casting agent decides, he talks to the designer, and they come up with the look of what the show is about. The casting agents decided to tell the modeling agents, we are not seeing black models in these couple of coming seasons. So don't send us any black models. And literally, there was the absence of black models. And that's what it was called, the blackout.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Absolutely. And so, what transpired, because I was trying to find out what happened, how did this come about? And what was transpiring was that there was an influx of Eastern European models coming into the scene. And the big designers, specifically like Prada, decided that they would have enough of the cult of personality of a model. Like, we don't want the show to be Naomi Campbell, Linda Evangelista, Christy Turner, the names, right? So we got to democratize, so the design, the focus is on the designer. So they democratized that, and so they have all these white Eastern European models, all white, all skinny. And so there was no reason to have a black model because she does not fit this category anymore. And once Prada started, every designer followed that route. And within 3-4 years, there was no black model on the run. And so that was the change that we were trying to make. And the change was instant. And it came actually from people like Prada, that all of a sudden when they realized what was going on.
Right.
And they corrected themselves. Not only that they had started hiring black models on the runway, but then more importantly, they started using black models in their advertisement.
Yeah.
So there was a palpable change. And that's also what brought up the inclusivity part of the conversation that we were talking about.
Yeah.
This was not saying that the designers are racist, but their actions and the actions of their casting agent is racist act.
Yeah. Yeah.
I specifically said, who's more busier than Tom Ford? No designer is busier than Tom Ford. And he does his own casting agent.
Of course.
He knows exactly who's in his fashion show.
100%.
He knows the black, the Asian, the white, he knows that.
Yep.
So that's what we were trying to bring to the forefront, that you can't give the power to a casting agent to be able to say that on your behalf, because at the end of the day, is your name, the designer's name, is being tainted.
Oh my God. I'm literally like my jaws to the floor because I was like in this whole world very heavily at that time. And I'm literally running through my head of like what was going on in that moment. And I feel like right now we're in a beautiful time in modeling. I do. I think we're at a great place where I'm seeing so much diversity and everywhere, which I'm personally loving so much. And I think it's only taken 50 years, but we're here.
Yeah. Beauty is beauty.
Of course.
The idea like a girl like Precious Lee or Ashley Graham is not beautiful. It goes over my head. I'm like, that mentality, it's déclassé, it's old-fashioned. And young people, that's what's so great, I'm sure you'll see it in your boys. It's like they don't see that because those are things that are taught with the family. Yeah, they don't see that. They see it everybody. My daughter, who's now 22, has never called one of her friends white or black.
No.
So it's that idea, thank God, the young generation are much aware and they are demystifying it and breaking it down that they're not going to be part of that. So that's what good news is, that there is a hopefully young generation that comes up that's going to be the change of what we need.
And I imagine, I want to talk about Beth Ann because Beth Ann she's one of my all-time favorite people. And I actually was fortunate enough to literally see her in the last month. I think I saw her at an event and I ran over and gave her the biggest hug. And I hadn't seen her in probably 2 years or more. And she is such a force. And I think that Beth Ann is someone that I want my listeners to know about because when I talk about game changers, game-changing forces in an industry, I've known her my entire career, and she always felt like this sort of like this mother figure in fashion and looking after everyone and taking care of everybody. But she is just extraordinary, and I feel like she's been a mentor in everything for you, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely. Been my closest friend. She was my maid of honor when I married my husband, David. But I met her on probably the first week in New York, and I walked into Stephen Burrows' studio, and she was his assistant. And everybody assumed at that time that I didn't speak a word of English, right? And so people would talk around me. And
how many languages did you speak? Let me correct that notion.
5.
Casual.
So that Anne was there and they gave me the dress to try. I put on the dress and they gave me heels. And I've had a terrible time putting one heel on and trying to put the other one while I was standing.
Because you're so tall. I have no problem with that.
I know friends of mine who sleep in heels. Yeah. So no, she got on her knees to tie the shoes, to help me with the shoes. And I've never forgot that act of kindness. And we've been friends since then.
She's the greatest.
Yes.
So I have a question. So do you ever sit back and say, okay, I've done, 10,000 amazing things in my life. Yeah. I'm good. I can just chill out now. Or do you just go, what's next? I haven't even scratched the surface. Like, when do you pat yourself on the back and say, okay, I can take a break? Because I don't. I'm guilty of never doing that. So I'm curious if you do.
No, I don't pat myself in the back because I love to see how young girls who are getting into starting this business, especially a fashion business, how they are much aware of who came before them and who helped them in this journey and who opened those doors that they are now easily walking into, right? But then that they decide also that then it's upon them to move that needle forward more than we did, right? So that to me, it's a comfort because you know that whatever you've done, you've touched some lives.
Yeah.
But no, I think I'm better than you. I can just lie down and say I'm not doing anything.
And do you have any more specific like dreams where you're like, okay, I'm not done. I still have to do this. Or do you just say like life is going to be as it comes now?
I think life is as it comes now because I've learned, for one thing, if I've learned is that, man plans and God laughs.
I live by that. I just don't plan anything.
Yeah, I think if I was in my 20s, definitely I would be planning. But now I know things as they unfold themselves. You know what I mean? Things come unfold themselves. But I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm 67, so anything is possible. One thing I'd like to do, which COVID stopped it for me, was that I'd like to travel around the world in a lot of places that I have not been.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my life journey. I really, really want to go to all the places that I have not been.
Well, you have earned that. And I could talk to you for another 26 hours, but I'm not going to because I know you don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, I'm going to mention the docu-series. It's Supreme Models. It's a 6-part docu-series, and it's started yesterday, and it will be exclusive on YouTube every Monday.
I have to say to everyone listening, you have to watch this. I have only seen bits of beginnings, and I can tell you, I cannot stop watching it. The clothes, the Halston, and then Zendaya and Tommy. And listen, you are the queen of queens. You have been such an advocate for women. I think that you have been such a game changer in this industry in so many ways. You know, as someone who has been in the industry as my entire adult life, you know that very often women cannot be that nice in this business. Certainly many were not to me. And I think many people honestly weren't. But I have to say, you have just always been the kindest, classiest, amazing human being to me always. As a friend, as a mentor, you were literally the first one to hold my very first collaboration that I ever did in my whole life with Judith Lieber.
Yes, and I still have that bag, but also I have in my archives Rachel Zoe's old tuxedos. All of your tuxedos I have, black, white, velvets. I have all of them.
I love you. I love you. I can't ever thank you enough for your support, because I think you know better than anybody that when you're a designer, especially starting out, when you see someone in your clothes, there's just really nothing like it. And when it's Iman, I'm not going to lie, it's a bit of a surreal moment. But I do love you madly. Iman, I thank you because you've just made such a profound impact on me, on so many people in the industry, on so many young women coming up in it who are lost. And you have, like you said, opened the door for so many. And also, I just want to say, I mean, you were a muse to Saint Laurent. Like, can we just close on that moment? And Terry Mugler.
Thank you,
living my dream, my friend, living my dream. If you want more Climbing in Heels content, follow me on @RachelZoe and @ClimbingInHeelsPod on Instagram for more updates on upcoming guests, episodes, and of course, all things Curator.
Does money stress you out? Let Facet flip your financial chaos into clarity.
We feel way more confident and secure in our finances, and with that comes a sense of freedom.
Financial planning from Facet is here to help you improve your life today, tomorrow, and every day after that.
Facet was really the place where we saw all of the tools and the people coming together.
Visit Facet.com, FACET.com to learn more. This ad is sponsored by Facet. Facet Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. This is not an offer to buy or sell securities, nor is it investment, legal, or tax advice. These testimonials are from current Facet members who are not compensated. All opinions are their own and not a guarantee of a similar outcome.
Are your lingering depression symptoms getting in your way? If you're on an antidepressant for major depressive disorder, MDD, and you've made some progress, but your unresolved symptoms leave you feeling stuck, it may be time to ask your doctor about Vraylar, cariprazine. Vraylar is a prescription medicine approved for use with antidepressant medicines to treat MDD in adults. Adding Vraylar to an antidepressant is clinically proven to help relieve overall depression symptoms better than an antidepressant alone. Results may vary. Build on the progress you've already made. Ask your doctor if adding on Vraylar to your current antidepressant could help give you a lift in relief. Vraylar is not approved in elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis or for people under 18. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Report unusual changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, as these may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, weight gain, and high cholesterol may occur. Difficulty moving, tremors, slow or uncontrolled body movements, restlessness, feeling like you need to move around, nausea, constipation, insomnia, dizziness, increased appetite, and fatigue are common side effects. Side effects may not appear for several weeks. For a lift in relief, ask about adding Vraylar, Vraylar. Visit Vraylar.com or call 1-877-6-VRAYLAR to learn more.
This is Dr. Laurie Santos from the Happiness Lab. Many people have questions about how to improve levels of happiness. Living a healthy lifestyle is one sure way of increasing happiness. And a good place to start is with your oral health. Just a few small changes to your oral care routine, such as changing your toothpaste to Colgate Total, can lead to beneficial changes in your oral health. Colgate Total helps stop oral health problems like gingivitis and cavities before they start, because preventing oral health problems is a lot easier than treating them. Be dentist ready and get Colgate Total at shop.colgate.com/total.
With the best all-inclusive vacation deals to Mexico and the Caribbean, booking your getaway with Cheap Caribbean Vacations means you have more freedom to do your deal. Whether you want to enjoy snorkeling, endless margaritas, and more, or simply soak up the sun and sand in a tropical paradise, Cheap Caribbean Vacations has your deal for that. Plan and book the exact getaway you want at exactly the right price for you by using our exclusive Budget Beach Finder, or find a featured, family-friendly, all-inclusive package to Dreams Resorts and Spas and do your deal at cheapcaribbean.com.
Did you know that 1 in 8 kids in Atlanta will go hungry tonight? Eating healthy, balanced meals is essential for kids to learn and grow. That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield and education nonprofit Common Threads have teamed up to help schools learn about healthier food preparation. In Atlanta, they're joined by The Dream and will provide education, recipes, and knowledge to students and families about healthier options. Visit anthem.com/dream to learn more. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Blue Cross Blue Shield Healthcare Plan of Georgia, Inc.